Hey guys, we have a new Instagram page where we are posting exclusive pictures from our NASCAR League and other video games. Go check it out.
I play the road, and the highway is our song. Every city is like the same three chords, been helping us along when the story is told. And the crowd is done and gone, shaking off the mind.
Hey, what's up guys? Formalguy01 here, and welcome to the NASCAR Fantasy Racing League Cup Series. Today we have the Taco Bell 200 from Monza Speedway without the chicane. Now while these guys do their pace lap to start Stage 3, I have a few things to unpack here. First thing is, we'll be doing just Stage 3 for today's race. Stages 1 and 2, not a whole lot happened, and plus a couple of drivers got disconnected from the lobby, so don't always like to show that when that happens, but we'll definitely show you all of Stage 3 because Season 1 is winding down rapidly and these drivers are really racing hard for points. So a few things to get into here. We have Warfox joining us for this race. I've raced with him in a different league before and he's decent at driving, and it's really cool that he was able to join us for today's race. I do believe after today he will be a full-time NFRL driver, so welcome. Now, a couple of big news things to get to. The NASCAR Fantasy Racing League officially has a sponsor, and this sponsor will be supplying the prize for Season 1 and 2, the season title winner. So our sponsor officially is Raging Red Tip. Now, be forewarned, viewer discretion is advised with this logo I'm going to show you, but that's what he wanted because that's what his name is. He's one of those guys that doesn't really have much of a filter, and he's a really great guy to get to know, and he also races in this league. But the prize for Season 1 is going to be $500. So literally, if you are the top in points at the end of the season, you will win $500. It's all legit. It's not a joke or anything, legitimately. In this league, all of these people are going to be racing for $500, cold hard cash. And I'm extremely excited to announce that, extremely impressed that he was able to do that for us, and I strongly appreciate it, along with everybody else in this league. So yeah, it really gives everybody something to race for, and when you watch the points update every week, that's what these guys are racing for, so that's going to be really fun to watch. Also, another big thing, currently we have it to where only 6 drivers can make the postseason, so the playoffs, but right now, there's about 4 drivers who are not eligible for the playoffs, but we have something that's going to change that. So basically, we want to have 6 drivers that make it legit into the playoffs, and then we're going to have a wild card spot. So the way a person gets in via the wild card is, we're going to have a wild card race, where every non-eligible driver will compete at Blue Moon Speedway, and the winner of the race will officially get into the playoffs. So that race is going to be happening, I do believe, on August 7th, because none of the other drivers are going to race, all the playoff drivers, so that should be fun to get to, and we are officially going to go green for the Taco Bell 200. I still have a few more things to explain, but as these guys get racing, I'll explain it more. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but Car Freak won Stages 1 and 2, and unfortunately, Plasma had to leave because Plasma in the 12 car was having some sort of an issue behind the scenes, and he couldn't stay for the whole race. Bit of a shame to see that, as the 76 car is going to go around. I saw Lone go into the sand. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but the 76 goes right around through turn 1. But yeah, Car Freak's fuel strategy, once again, the Haas Garage has come prepared because Car Freak was easily way ahead of everybody on fuel as Sarah is really loose. He's going to get into the wall a little bit. He will save it, though. That is officially a save. At least he didn't spin out. But yeah, Car Freak is looking for another sweep, believe it or not. But there's only 3 races remaining, including this race, so everybody is really racing to get in for that $500 prize. Now I'm going to go through the field here and explain a little bit, because I can tell you exactly who is and who isn't eligible for the playoffs right now. To be eligible for the playoffs, you can't miss more than 2 races in the regular season. So if you miss more than that, you're automatically ineligible for the playoffs. However, you are eligible for a wild card if you make at least half of the races in the regular season. And as we're talking here, Car Freak goes way to the outside, almost in the sand of the last corner. That's going to allow Down East to go right by for the lead. And this is kind of cool. Down East is driving his Patriotic 16 car because I don't think he was able to make it for that race. And I've been telling him for a long time, I've been wanting him to race that 16 car because I think it's one of the best looking Patriotic cars we made this year. And again, the Patriotic race is a themed race that will happen again in Season 2 and all seasons going forward. Car Freak's going to try to dive bomb him on the inside. Too wide for the lead. Nope, Down East is going to hold it there. As you look back, Sarah just trying to complete the pass on War Fox. War Fox is fighting back, though, side by side for third. And I know what you're thinking if you've seen some of the other videos. Raging Red Tip is the driver of the 4 car. Well, in that other league, War Fox is actually the 4 car, and he happened to have this car on him, so we just figured, hey, just hop into the race. Lone is going to get into War Fox as War Fox got in the sand back there. A lot of hard racing already to start this stage. And again, going forward, I'm definitely going to try to do more full race replays. It's just, with my limitations, it really does make it easier if I have shorter videos to upload. But I know that y'all love watching the full races, so I'm definitely going to try to get those pushed out. Coming around the last corner, Down East took the lead out of this corner last lap, and he led the entire lap. Car Freak could not get around him. So again, the wild card race is going to be interesting because it's not a full length race. It's just going to be a 1-stage race, so about 45 laps, but it's still going to have all the caution rules, all the pit stop rules, you know, all of that stuff. But all of these drivers are going to be racing to get into the playoffs for very good reason. So while these two battle it out for the lead, I'll show you out of the drivers here today who are going to be driving in that wild card race. So, let's see. Ghost is ineligible, actually, because this is actually his first race in the season, so he cannot do it. Actually, the only driver that will be racing in that out of the drivers here today will be Clone, because he didn't start racing with us until the Northern Isle race, as Clone is going to get around into War Fox. War Fox goes around, and that will be a caution. I can't believe that the second I decided to go back and talk about him, he wrecked with War Fox. Okay, well, caution's out, so this is a good time to talk about this, I guess. So yeah, Clone joined us for the Northern Isle race. That was his first race, which means I think he missed all 3 of the first 3 races, so, you know, that's more than 2. He's ineligible for the playoffs. But because he has raced at least half of the races so far, and he will by the end of the season, he is eligible to race for that wild card spot. So Clone, he started a little bit slow, you know. It's understandable because this type of racing is very different than other video games. There's official NASCAR games out there where you actually race the stock cars. That's very, very different. He also races on GCA. That's also very different, but he has done nothing but improve the more he has raced with us. So it's going to be Clone, Raging, Luna. I think there's a 4th driver in that mix, but either way, all of these drivers are going to be racing for that final spot to get in to race for that $500 prize, and it should be really fun to watch. As every single driver is going to come into the pit lane to get tires and fuel, and with that, we'll get them grouped up for another restart. So the cars are coming around for the restart, and check this out. The 2 cars in that right lane, they were the top 2 coming out of the pit lane. It's literally War Fox and Clone. So War Fox, he's pretty experienced in these cars. He's raced in that other league for quite some time. And Clone is not very experienced right now, but obviously he's gaining more skill as he races. But yeah, these guys are starting 1-2 right now. And obviously with the choose cone, you get to choose what lane you start in. That's why they're not side by side. But that outside line has a lot more cars in it than the inside line. Green flag is out. Clone is not willing to push War Fox. He wants to go right by him if he can. War Fox is going to throw up the block. Car Freak gets a huge shunt from the 16 car. This is going to get a little dicey through this corner because by the time they hit this corner, they're going at least 170. Oh, Warfox gives Sarah the bump. Sarah goes into the sand. It looks like he's going to get out of it okay. No caution. Again, when you go through that corner at those speeds, sometimes it's hard to control your car, as at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 cars just cut that corner. At least 3 or 4 locked up their brakes. That was ridiculous. And with all of that, Down East is going to go to the lead. They were 3 wide for second as Warfox is sideways in the middle of traffic. He's going to go off into the sand. That could have been way worse than what it was. Down East is going to get out to a really decent lead because literally Warfox just got sideways in front of Car Freak and Clone. And speaking of Clone, he's up to second place now in that Penske car. And like I mentioned, he's done nothing but improve ever since he's joined us. And even though he joined this season late, this is definitely great practice because I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in Season 2. You see the gap right there. The Down East has jumped out to a mega lead. And then Down East, he has a lot of experience on Gran Turismo games and really racing games in general, but he's one of those drivers who shows up every week, has a lot of speed. He just has not been able to win a race yet. But trust me when I tell you, I think next week he's going to be really fast because we're going to Red Bull Ring Short. And from what I've seen when he went there to test with his team, he was blazing fast. As we see here, Car Freak's trying to give Clone a push. That's actually a good thing to do with this racetrack because if you push somebody else in the straight, you can really try to catch up to somebody. It looked like Lone just gave Car Freak a shot, but nope, they both get out of the corner okay. And behind Car Freak, here comes Ghost. This is literally his first race with us. Driving that number 76 Custom United Rentals car. And again, that's his patriotic car because he also missed the patriotic race. One thing that I love about this league, I love the custom race cars because I mentioned it last video. Some of the real-life NASCARs, they're not good looking. But these custom cars, man, when you have the full creative spectrum to create whatever you want on a race car, they turn out so good looking. And you see here, Clone is actually holding Car Freak back. Not because he's slower, he's just blocking him. Clone is like, no, I'm staying in front and you're going to push me or else. Car Freak's going to go to the inside. He's going to try to get around him, but oh my gosh, he underbraked the crap out of that corner and he's going to lose 3 spots because of it. And now here comes Ghost by for second place. And he's going to throw the block to Clone. Clone's trying to get around him really hard. And here comes Lone behind Clone. And yeah, that 43 car is going to push Clone up to second place. These guys are just battling. It is straight warfare out here today. You see Clone right back up to second. Let's see where that 76 goes. That 76 does underbrake that corner a little bit. He almost got into the 2 car, but he's actually going to get around Lone right there. And don't look now, but Car Freak is starting to catch back up to the 43. And as you see up there, Down East still has a reasonable lead over the 2 car. Car Freak's coming up on Lone's bumper now, trying to push him up to the 76. And again, this is race 8 of the regular season, so after today, we only have 2 races to go. I think it's fairly safe to say that Car Freak, Down East, Lone, and Plasma, they're pretty much locked into the top 4. Sarah might be guaranteed for the top 5, but then again, Clone is giving him a run for his money in the points right now. You see Car Freak all over Lone's bumper. He is really trying to push him. Wow, Clone goes way to the outside and loses that position to the 76 car. Let's see where the 43 goes. Does the 43 pass him or does he help him? Yep, Lone's going to help him and Car Freak's going to stay right in tow. So now Clone is leading this little 3-car train going down the front straightaway. With all that draft power, I think they're going to catch the 76 fairly quickly. Clone is all over Clone's bumper, pushing him up. Yep, here he comes. The 2 is now on the 76's bumper. Oh, I thought he was going to be able to pass him right there. Oh, he's almost there. Really loose. What a save by that driver. Good Lord. As we watch, Ghost is actually running a pretty decent line right now in that 76 car. And this being his first race, you never really know what to expect. Car Freak gives the 2 a little bit of a push there. Car Freak's trying to help the 2 get up there and pass him for second. And again, we heard a lot of commotion out of the Penske garage because Plasma already has a win. Plasma is Clone's teammate. But Clone wants to get up there. Clone wants to battle. Clone wants to lead laps. He wants to win races. And I definitely think he'll be able to do that because he is really showing a lot of great potential in that 2 car. As we look up at the gap to the leader, Down East is all the way up here, coming out of the last corner, and then Ghost is just entering it. So that 16 car is just driving away right now. Clone is going to go way to the outside and lose both of those positions to Car Freak and Lone. But there's still just a really big draft chain. They're trying to catch up to the 76, but because of how hard they're racing each other, the 76 is getting away from them. And this is a decent little stretch of green flag racing here. And I mentioned it at the top that Car Freak's fuel mileage is once again just way better than any other car on the track today. But fuel mileage does not win races, because I've seen a lot of drivers that they might have the best fuel mileage, but they don't have the fastest car on the track. And seeing how Car Freak is in 3rd right now, I would argue that that is happening to him right now. 76 got into the inside wall. Car Freak tried to get around him, but that did not work. Ghost goes way to the inside. Here comes Car Freak to the outside. Can't get a run that time. He's going to push the 76, actually. Car Freak, oh my gosh, Car Freak has a run to the outside. Here he comes. He's going to try to get around for 2nd place. And Laura's going to push him to 2nd place. And the 76 underbrake the crap out of that corner, and he is going to fall back to 5th place. Good God, we were too busy watching as the 88 is going to go wicked sideways out of that corner. Spinning at least 3 or 4 times, and oh my gosh, the 76 almost hit him. Okay, this is why we showed the last stage, because everything happens in the last stage. Literally, the 88 barely cut into the sand back there, just goes spinning like a top, and then here comes the 76 blazing by at least $120. Good God, these people are crazy. And as we calmly try to look back up at the 16 after all of that, he has a really decent lead. It looks like he has at least 8 to 10 second lead over 2nd place. Gets a little bit loose there, though. Car Freak has really taken over 2nd place now by a decent little gap. And now Clone is really battling that 43 car for 3rd. And again, Lone already has 1 win, trying to get that official playoff lock if he could win a 2nd race. I tell you, we haven't had a caution in quite a while, and this is a really great green flag run here. And as the leader comes out of that corner, he gets really loose. He's into the grass. He almost sent it into the wall really hard there, but he will save it in the grass. And again, the gap between 1st and 2nd continues to grow, even with Car Freak in 2nd trying to chase him down. As we look back here through the field, Lone is starting to gap himself to the 2 car a little bit. The 76 just fell all the way back here after wrecking through the sand. And actually, there is a caution on the track. Caution is out. The 76 hit something and got some damage, and that will be a yellow. And actually, we need to look back and see what happened, because I'm not sure if it's because of what happened in the sand or if he hit something else. So let's find out what happened here. So looking back, the 76 came through the S's, and when he came out, he just got into the sand a little bit. And then you see the wheel, he had it jacked hard right, full steam in the gas, and he just could not get that thing to turn. And that hit into the wall, really damaged that race car. So again, this is his first race. He was really trying to save it, but that car would not steer whatsoever. Tough break for that 76 car, but hey, the caution is going to group all the drivers back up, so that should be nice for everybody in the back. But alright, let's get them grouped up and get ready for a restart. And the cars are coming around for the restart, and everybody is getting set up through that choose cone rule. The choose cone allows the drivers to choose which lane they want to start in, so you could have 2 in the right, 5 in the left, you could have 1 in the left, 6 in the right, you know, it could just be some wild restart formations. But here we go, Sarad and Lone on the front row, and then you have Down East and War Fox in row 2. And then there's literally no row 3 because it's just single file behind them. Green flag is back out. And we are actually nearing halfway on this race already. And funny enough, these drivers were told about the prize right before this race. And you can kind of see how that's reflecting in how they're driving, because the news of that $500, it was a mega breaking news thing, because everybody couldn't believe it. They thought I was kidding, they thought it wasn't real, but no. That sponsor is very serious about sponsoring the prize for this league, and I love it. There is a gear marker sign back there that just went flying, and the 2 car just smashed the crap out of it. Well, at least it's out of the way now. Sarah's going to get a decent lead. War Fox has fought his way all the way up to second. Here comes Carfreak trying to get by Lone. And he will. Carfreak's going to be on War Fox's bumper now. Carfreak is going to get around War Fox on the right side. They are side by side still. Carfreak goes into the grass a little bit, and actually Carfreak let him have that. They were about to be almost 3 wide on that straight. That is not a good spot to be in, as War Fox goes way off into the sand, and Carfreak is going to get into him hard through the S's. That is officially a 2-car wreck, and that will be a yellow flag. I don't know if War Fox had help, but literally it looked like his brakes just did not work through that corner, and obviously there's nowhere for him to go. He was not going to get out of the gas. You know what? Let's look back at that through Carfreak's perspective, because I think you'll be able to see if he had help or if he just didn't brake. So we're looking at Carfreak's view coming down the straightaway, and right here going into this corner, yeah, look at that. He under-braked. He braked way later than Carfreak or Lone. And then coming back out, oh, you saw Carfreak try to go left and avoid him, but Lone was right there, and he just could not get out of the way. Well, hey, that's racing. Stuff happens sometimes. Can't really do much about it. But alright, we have another caution, and we have another restart, so let's get to it. So as the cars come down the straightaway here, and they're getting ready to come up to the choose cone, I want to take this time to really thank everybody who watches these videos. Y'all are the reason that I keep making them, because they aren't the easiest things to make, but at the same time they are very fun to make, and also I'm trying to get the word out about this league as much as possible. But I hope y'all have been enjoying the videos, and this being the first season of the NFRL, I'm definitely making a video for every race. And literally, you're going to be able to stream and watch every race from this season on demand on the official playlist, which the playlist is already public. We have every race we've done so far, so you can go there, and the link is in the description. When you click on that playlist, you can watch every race in sequential order as they happened. So that should be fun to watch every race. You can literally watch an entire season of this league at once. And again, just thank y'all so much for watching. Really hope y'all have been enjoying these videos. And here we go. Down East is by himself on the left lane. Everybody else on the right, with Lone leading it. And Lone has Clone in tow behind him. And even with all of those cars, Down East still got a decent restart in that 16 car. Looks like War Fox is going to try. Nope, War Fox is going to make it 3 wide back in the pack. That's a little bit risky doing that. Carfreak is to the inside of Clone. He's trying to get there to Lone's bumper. But Clone is still fighting. Here comes that 2 car. A little bit of smoke from that 2 car, actually. Lone is going to underbrake the corner wildly, and he hits another barrier in the racetrack. Here comes Lone. Clone tried to dive on the inside. He couldn't quite get it to stick. Boy, Clone is trying to get there in that 2 car, but can he really do it? Because Lone is a little bit unstable. It might be a little dangerous to pass. And right there, Clone gets to the side of the 43. Carfreak gives him a bump, and there goes Clone to the lead in that number 2 Penske car. This is only his 4th or 5th race in this league and in this style of racing, and Clone will take the lead of this race. Lone gets really loose behind him there, side by side for second. And all that's doing is letting Clone drive away with this lead. Boy, what a move by that driver. And again, I always mention credentials to drivers, any experience they have in just racing or driving in general. And I know that Clone races, I believe, on the NASCAR Heat game, so that's the official NASCAR games with the stock cars. He also races on GTA, but nothing is like this because Clone will officially lead his first lap in the NASCAR Fantasy Racing League Cup Series. I know that is a major feat for that driver because he has always been outside of the top 4 or so in his first few races. And I know that can just be so discouraging, but you can't give up. He's really been improving as he's been racing, and clearly showing it now because he is holding off that pack of 4 cars behind him. But yeah, Clone races on a bunch of other games. He's won some on GTA, but this is more of an elite series on this game. Sarah and Down East almost killed each other. That's a piece of news. As we look here, Lone and Carfreak are trying to get back up to Clone. Lone gave Clone a little bit of a shot. Carfreak's to the outside of the 43. A lot of dirt and sand shooting off of that 14 car. And here they come. They are side by side for second. Down East is trying to get up there to challenge that 2 car. Down East just got punted into the sand, it looked like. Yeah, Down East is going to fall way off the pace. The 43 is wicked sideways, and Carfreak is going to go blazing by. And with all that, Clone still holds the lead because they are all racing extremely hard back there just for second place. Clone's going to go way to the outside, a little bit outside of the track barrier. Carfreak is going to follow him. Carfreak is going to go by on the outside. I don't know. I don't know. Literally, both drivers go outside of the track limits, basically, above that green barrier. And somehow Carfreak went more to the outside and was able to pass the 2, but Clone is going to fight back and take the lead back. And the 43 is really trying to help that 2 car. And oh, the 2 car goes off of the track. Oh, it looked like the 2 car got a little bit too far to the inside. He hit the rumble strip and then he just shot to the outside. Oh, what a tough break for that team. Still fighting the 16 for that 4th place spot. He's not going away easily. He's actually to the inside. He almost took the 16 out. He's going to fall off the pace a little bit. Oh, man, that is a tough break for that 2 car. But again, we're only on lap 18, so there's tons of time for him to try to get back up to this lead. And speaking of the lead, Carfreak has retaken the lead, and he is driving away from Sarah Lone. And we're looking at Sarah. If y'all watched last week's race, you probably noticed that he was really talking about how he wanted to win that race. In the Haas garage, he was just preaching that he was going to be a top-tier car for that race. And I mean, Haas still won the race, it just wasn't the 88, but Sarah is on a mission. He wants to win the race. He wants to win 2 races to lock himself into the playoffs, but the 88 car has shown speed all season. He's won a couple of stages. He just hasn't been able to really close off the deal and win a race yet. And again, you just saw Clone lead some laps. You've seen Down East lead some laps. Sarah, Down East, and Clone are all winless, but at the tier and the level that these guys are driving, I don't think it'll be long before one of them gets a win. And then that all goes back to the point where winning a race, you don't have to win a race to get to the playoffs or even win the championship, really. But again, there is a great feeling in winning a race, especially at this level of driving, because these guys really know what they're doing. And again, the NASCAR Fantasy Racing League has just started this year, but I'm really trying to make it the best NASCAR league on GT Sport, if at all possible. Because there are some leagues out there that I've driven in, and they are just not good leagues. I mean, poor ownership, poor leadership by the people that run them. They are just horrible leagues to be in. And again, I'm going to be really opening that door to let drivers come to this league to race because, you know, we have a better prize, we have better management, and we have better drivers in the fullest. So yeah, if anybody wants to join the NASCAR Fantasy Racing League, because obviously with that $500 prize, that is a big thing to race for. Just message CarFreak13 on PlayStation and mention this YouTube video when messaging him. And we can set up a party chat interview for you to possibly join this league. Now, no, there's no entry fee, there's no nothing. It's obviously free to join, free to race, so you're not obligated there. And again, I don't think you're going to be able to race with us in this season because I don't want any new drivers to slow down the guys that are racing for that prize. But you can definitely be entered into the Season 2 roster, and we only have 16 slots. To which, out of the 16, I think already 8 or so is filled. So definitely, if y'all want to have the chance to race for $500 in cold hard cash, message CarFreak13 on PlayStation and we'll definitely try to get you in. But again, you must be 18 years or older and you must have Discord. If you do not have Discord, you will not be able to race with us. And also, you have to have experience in these cars. The BMW M4 Group 4. If you've never raced one before, please go and buy one in the game, upgrade it fully, and then take it to a few tracks and start driving, because you need to be racing at a certain level to be able to drive in this league. Because part of the tryout process is you have to race for CarFreak. He has to see you race. That's going to play a big part in the decision he makes to let you in or not. But yeah, I mean, this league has been great so far. Great racing. The people have been great. We always have great times. I literally have all of the Discord chats from the races. All you hear is just people laughing and carrying on and having a great time. There's been no real issues at all. And yeah, at the start of the season, there were some toxic people that were in this league, but thankfully, they all left in one big bunch without me having to really do anything. So with all of those toxic people gone, this league is really already starting to get better. It was already a great league, but now it's getting even better with them gone. And now coming around turn 1, Saird is really starting to get hounded by that 16 car, it looks like. And also, I said this in the last video, I'm going to say it here again. If any of you are playing GTA Online, y'all better be hyped for the update that's coming out on Tuesday, because the Los Santos Tuners update, I cannot wait for it. And I'm trying to get this race cranked out really early this week, so that way I'm not obligated to do it in the middle of the week. And as we see here, there's actually a pack of cars that's kind of forming back here for second place. I mean, if all of these guys can get hooked up in the draft, they're all going to get together, and they almost might be able to track down CarFreak up there in the lead. And I mentioned this before, it's such a shame what happened to Plasma, because Saird is going to almost kill the 16 along with himself. That's twice now that Saird has been just wicked loose coming out of the S-corners. As they come out of this final corner, there will be 10 laps to go officially. As we see on the track, oh, we have 2 cars coming into the pit lane. Okay. So Saird and Down East will be making their green flag pit stops. It should be their last pit stops of the race. And now with that, the 2 and the 43 are going to move up to second and third, and they're going to see if they can track down that 14. And man, these guys are actually showing a lot of speed, because on their speed trackers, oh, Clone is going to get punched into the sand yet again. Going to get into the wall. I don't think Clone did that on purpose, but they were going so fast, I don't think Clone anticipated that car driving off like that. Man, Clone is having some terrible luck today. But at the same time, hey, he led some laps and he's really showing a lot of speed, so that's definitely something to look up to. And the one thing is, he knows for a fact that he's not racing really for anything right now as far as points, because he's just going to have to race in the wildcard race to try to get in that way, but he is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with if he gets in. And honestly, I can't wait to see that wildcard race. And it's going to be fun, because when y'all get to watch that race, only 4 drivers are going to be in it racing hard for 45 laps. So there's going to be nobody else. It's just going to be 4 drivers all racing for a shot at the $500 prize. So that should be really fun to watch. And as CarFreak comes around the last corner, Lone is starting to catch him ever so slightly. And with that, it looks like Lone's actually going to come into the pit, so he's going to make his last pit stop of the race. And it looks like Clone is going to come right behind him. He's going to fly into the pits. No! He's going to go into the pit wall really, really hard. Oh my gosh. You know what? The things just continue to pile on for that 2 car. Funny enough with that, that will officially bring out a yellow flag. But oh my gosh. When he comes into the pits right here, they better work on this car. I can't believe that just happened. I really can't believe it. Because, I mean, he got moved out of the way in turn 1 a few times so far. He was leading and still spun out in turn 1. And now all he wanted to do was make a pit stop. And he just crashes hard into that pit wall. Well, all that aside, caution is now out. And the thing to watch here is, what is Car Freak going to do? Because I do believe Car Freak is the only car who is not pitted under green. So, does he pit and get fresh tires but go to the rear of the field? Or does he try to stay out and race on old tires? I guess we'll see as this race is winding down. Alright, so the cars are coming around for this restart. And this is interesting because Car Freak and War Fox are now on the outside line. Then you have everybody else on the inside. And yes, indeed, Car Freak did in fact pit. He came down the pits and got fresh tires, so while he does have the freshest tires on the racetrack now, basically everybody else didn't pit that long ago, so pretty equal playing field minus the fuel in these cars, so this is going to be fun to watch. Coming down to the start-finish line, we only have a handful of laps to go. And green flag is out. It looks like Sheridan Lone got going, and the 16 didn't, and Car Freak is going to settle right in line in 3rd place there. You saw that gap open. It literally looked like the 16 and the 43 got separated, and that opened up a gap for Car Freak to sneak into. Around turn 1, you cannot overdrive this corner, because if you do, you're going to go sailing off into the sand. And Sayard up in the lead. Sayard looking for his first win. Sayard looking to not crash in the sand again, and Car Freak is going to pass them both on the inside and go to the lead. They were 3 wide for a split second, and that opened the door for Car Freak to shoot right on by. The 16 cars spun in the sand, and so is the 4. Not sure what's happening here. And here comes these leaders down this straightaway. Got to get through these S corners because these S corners can really eat you alive if you don't take them right. Lone got really loose, and so did the 88. Both cars coming out of the S corners they almost spun. What can I say? They didn't just get loose, they were literally wiggling and almost taking each other out. Here they come around this last corner. As you see on the lap counter on the top left, the laps are winding down rapidly. And once again, I mentioned it at the top. Going forward, I will try my best to make full race replays, but again, it makes it so much easier when they're just a little bit shorter than full length. Because if this race would have been full, if I would have uploaded the entire race, the video would have almost topped 2 hours. That would have been insane. But from what I hear, y'all actually like those videos, so I guess if y'all like them, I can definitely make the effort to put them out. Coming through this corner. Oh, Car Freak overshot the corner, and Car Freak is going to slow down because the ruling of this league is you cannot cut that corner if it benefits you in any way. So Car Freak, it looked like he slowed down because he thought he would have gotten a benefit from cutting the corner. And with that, Lone is going to go to the lead. I've mentioned this many times about the 43 car, but the 43 is one of the most consistent drivers in the sense where he is always there in the points. He's never usually outside the top 3 or 4 in points in a season. He might not win many races, but he is definitely one of the top tier drivers of this sport and of this league. Where Car Freak's trying to stay in his draft. And again, Car Freak won stages 1 and 2 without too much competition. It was one of those things where when Car Freak got to the lead, everybody else raced themselves so hard that Car Freak was able to just drive away with it. So this is going to be kind of a first time we're going to see Car Freak battling with traffic for the lead. And of course that's going to happen at the end of the race, so that could get dicey. I tell you, it is just so fun watching this because it's a great shame that GT Sport does not have actual NASCARs like the stock cars. But for what these cars do, I mean, this is really cool. This looks and feels like a NASCAR race on TV. And that's what I love about these cars. And again, I'm the car maker, and I always try to make these cars look really legit, because when someone presents me with a sponsor and just tells me to make them a car, like a fantasy car that I think would look cool with the sponsor, that gets interesting sometimes, because you never know what the car is going to look like until you finish it. And through those corners, Car Freak just made up almost that entire gap between him and the 43. So again, we got to see, is Car Freak going to be aggressive and try to pass him, or is he going to try to hold back, or can he even pass him if he can? Because we don't know how fast Lone is, because we're going to find out now that he's out front. The one thing about these two have been racing together for quite some time, because in that other NASCAR league, Car Freak won Season 2, the Season 2 title, and it literally came down to these two guys. Lone lost it by only about 2 or 3 car lengths to Car Freak, but it was still a great battle in the points. As they cross the start-finish line here, there's just 4 laps to go. I mean, we have seen these drivers work ridiculously well together. If y'all want to see something really cool, I recommend, I can link it in the description. Look at the playoff race for that other league, Season 2. Look at the Route X race. You'll see the 43 car in the thumbnail. These two guys work together like nothing I've ever seen before. Because I heard that Car Freak told Lone before the race, if you want to win today's race, I'll help you win it. Car Freak did just that. Car Freak stayed on the 43's bumper the whole race and pushed him to the win. And they literally took a 1-2 finish in that race. And now these two are battling here once again. There's a lot of respect between these two drivers because they both respect each other's driving ability and driving skill. Because clearly, these guys really know how to wheel these race cars. And while these two battle, we're going to look back in the field because this little battle here between the 16 and the 88 is heating up a bit. And a few laps ago, Down East got punted into the sand, and now he's already back up to 3rd place. I mean, unless a caution comes out, I do not think you're going to be able to even remotely catch Car Freak or Lone. Because for Pete's sake, Car Freak is pushing him down the straightaway just to make the gap bigger between them and 3rd. But again, these guys have that much respect. They will literally work with each other on any race day. These two working together could help one of them win this race today. Through this corner, looked like Car Freak got a little bit loose, but he's still going to stay right on Lone's bumper through the exit. There's just something about these two, man. These two work together like perfect allies. Like, they should be on the same team with how good they race together. But again, I know for a fact that Lone will never leave the 43 or the Richard Petty Motorsports team, and Car Freak brought that 14 car to life, you know. A Season 2 title in that other league, and I think he has over 20 Cup wins, maybe 30 overall, so Car Freak's not leaving that 14 car. That's the number that he has just chosen, and it has just stuck with him. And as they come down the straightaway, Car Freak is still pushing him. I must admit, this is really smart by this driver, because Down East is really fast back in that 16, but as long as these two stay linked up on the straightaways, the 16 has no chance. And again, we saw something similar in the title race that I mentioned for that other league. There's a point where 2 of the Championship 4 drivers wrecked in turn 1. Car Freak got to Lone's bumper, and they just said, hey, if we can make this just between you and me, let's do it. And they pushed and pushed, and then when it was time to battle, they battled. And it's always done cleanly and professionally. And that's another thing that this league has that some other leagues do not. Professionalism. Because everything in this league is handled professionally. There's no BS. There's no babying around. If there's an issue, you bring it up to the rules guys of this league, and it gets taken care of. And as they cross the start-finish line this lap, the white flag will be next time by. And once again, you see the gap. The 16 just came around that turn as these two are way down the straightaway already. You see, I think Car Freak's just waiting for that white flag, because once they get to the white flag, if they do, then the next flag will end the race, be it checkered or caution. So we really got to see what Car Freak has in store here, because I can't tell if Car Freak has the speed and he's just staying behind the 43, or if the 43 is just that much quicker and he can't do anything, or maybe it's a mixture of both. But here we go, coming around to the start-finish line. There will be 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. And this is going to get really dicey because you have 2 of the best in the business, and it's just them 2 out in front, and they are going to decide it for 1 lap. If Lone wins this race, he'll officially lock himself into the playoffs. If Car Freak wins this race, it would be his 4th win of the season. And Car Freak's still staying on Lone's bumper. I'm curious if he's going to make a move, and I'm curious where it would be if he will. Car Freak gets hard into the brakes. He's trying to stay off of the 43. Car Freak hit that rumble strip big, and he's going to go up in the air. Lone got a really decent gap to the lead because of that. Now coming through this right-hander, he's going to go on to another straightaway. Oh, Lone got a little bit shaky. Car Freak's going to get in his draft because of that. And now this is one of those situations where I don't know if it's better to be out front or in the back. Because if you're in front, you have the advantage of trying to block the second place car, but then the second place car can try to move you if they want. And as they come through the S corners, Lone has a really smooth exit. He gets a little bit loose. And Car Freak is there. Car Freak has his draft. 1 corner to decide the Taco Bell 200. Car Freak's to the outside. Here comes Car Freak. He's going to dive to the inside. Lone is going to hold the lead. And now he's going to try to block Car Freak. Car Freak goes to the outside, and Car Freak is there on the outside. 2 wide for the lead. Coming to the line, and it's going to be Car Freak getting the win. Car Freak just passed Lone on the last turn after being behind him for 5 consecutive green flag laps, and he wins the race by 85 hundredths of a second. Are you kidding me? Alright, no, before we do the cooldown lap, we need to watch that again from their perspective. That was insane. So we're going to watch Car Freak's hood. So again, coming to this last corner, he can try a bump and run, he can try a dive bomb, he can try anything. So he goes to the inside, but he brakes heavily. He thought about dive bombing right there, but then gets on the brakes hard. And coming through the turn, the 43 got loose, goes to the inside, and for whatever reason, Car Freak picked the outside to pass him on and not the inside. If Car Freak would have went to the inside, the 43 would have been right there to block, and the 43 would have won. But Car Freak, at the last second, dove to the outside to get around him. We're watching what the 43 can see in his mirror. And right there, you see, 43 got a little bit loose and shot to the inside, and right here, he could have easily punted Car Freak off the track or moved him up into the grass to slow him down, but again, the level of respect between these 2 drivers is incredible. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you race. Clean racing. A little bit of bumping here and there, but no dumps, no wrecks, no dirty racing. Just great, clean racing between 2 experienced drivers. That is what this league is all about. And honestly, compared to other leagues out there, you're not going to get that kind of racing in other leagues. Because this racing is on another level. Trust me. Alright, well, Car Freak wins the Taco Bell 200, gets his 4th win of the season, his 3rd sweep of the season. Stewart Haas gets their 5th win in a row. You see there, the 43 gives Car Freak a little bit of a bump. Even he can appreciate a great move when it happens. 16 coming up gives Car Freak a bump. These guys didn't even see what just happened, but that was a great move by that 14. And again, Car Freak doesn't really need to win the race because he's already in a great spot in the points. And the 88 car is going to spin Car Freak out on the front straightaway. Little bit of a congratulatory spin right there. But yeah, none of those guys saw what just happened with that, and I bet you they're going to go crazy when they see what this 14 car just pulled off. This is going to be a little bit of a long cooldown lap. We're going to show it all until Car Freak gets around to do his burnout, but just to wrap up with a couple of things while he does that. So again, the winner of this season and season 2 will get $500. So again, lots of reason to join this league. And again, this league is way better than any other NASCAR league you're going to join on this game. I stand by that 110%. And also, we have that special wild card race happening on August 7th, so that should be really fun. And it gives all those drivers who are out of the playoffs something to race for. And again, right now, the wild card race will consist of Luna, Raging, Clone, and then somebody else. Oh, Wraith in the 20 car. So yeah, all of that's going to be happening. And again, we have 4 races in the playoffs where these guys are going to be racing to get into the Championship 4. And then again, in the championship race at Blue Moon, when these guys are racing for the title, everybody in this league will be able to race with them, but then there's going to be a final stage where only the Championship 4 guys will be out on the track, and then literally it's just them. Whatever happens, whoever drives the best will win that season title prize of $500. Just a terrific prize for these guys to race for. As they all come around the final corner, they're all going to head into the pits. And Car Freak, once again, for the 4th time this season, is going to get to burn rubber on the front straightaway. Again, Car Freak is the winningest driver in that other league. He has a Season 2 title. Now he has 4 wins and 3 sweeps in this league. Again, he definitely knows how to wheel that race car. And once again, I will remind everybody, wins do not mean you win the title with this format, because think about in real life NASCAR last season. Kevin Harvick won 9 races. And you know what happened? He didn't even make the Championship 4. He couldn't even try to race for a title. So yeah, literally, race wins are awesome, and it's awesome when you can actually pull that off, but they don't guarantee anything for the playoffs. But alright, once again, I want to thank everybody so much for watching this league and watching these videos. I'll link in the description to our official Season 1 playlist. I'll link to other race videos we have on this channel of this league. I'll link to some other stuff too, like our GTA playlist and all that stuff, because those are also great videos to watch if you need to have a laugh. And Car Freak is just going ham on this front straightaway. He is going crazy, burning that car down the straightaway. But alright, this has been the Taco Bell 200 at Monza Speedway, the NASCAR Fantasy Racing League Cup Series. And next week we are going to Red Bull Ring Short. So that should be really fun. And I hear there is a chance that it could rain next week for the race. So that could get very interesting. But alright, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you saw, and if you want to see more content, and switch that notification bell on to get notified every single time we upload a brand new video. And also check the description to get links to all sorts of stuff, including our NASCAR playlist and playlists to funny moments across many other video games. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.